Hello and welcome to another Discord inspired tutorial. Today we're going to make this simple flipping text ident. Okay, let's get into it. So first thing we're going to do is get rid of this one that we've already got. So to make this effect, as you saw, we need a Fusion comp. So to find your Fusion comp, come up to your effects library at the top, make sure effects library is turned on, come down to effects and drag a Fusion comp onto your timeline. Put your playhead over the comp and go into Fusion. This is a really simple effect, and for it we're going to need two text nodes, and we can find the text nodes on our hotbar. So we'll drag the two down. Text 1 is going to be the static text. And if we drag text 1 up into the viewer, we can see it. So change the font to whatever you want. And any colour, and then if you come down here to H anchor, we're going to click on the right justification, and that will move our text over. Next we're going to come into text 2 and we're going to drag that into the viewer. This is our list of words that scroll round. For each word we want a new line. Again, sort your font out. Next we're going to take the output of text 1 and drag and drop it onto the output of text 2. This will create a merge node which we can now view in the viewer. As you can see, our text isn't quite positioned right, so if we come back to text 2 and again come down to H anchor, and this time we're going to use the left button, which will move the text over to the right. I'm just going to grab this x-axis arrow and move over a little bit so that we've got a clear space between the two words. And I'm going to grab the Y arrow and I'm going to bring it down so that our first word is lined up with our static text. So we have all our text put up. Now we need to start masking and animating it. The first thing we're going to do is animate our main text. So come up to your hotbar, grab a rectangle and pipe the rectangle into text 1. As you can see, it started to mask our text already, so if you come to the edge of the mask or the rectangle, you can drag it down and position it so that your text is visible. And what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of soft edge to this mask and just check that we've not got the edges of the text sort of blurring out. So just give it a little bit of space. So now we're going to animate this. To do that, we're going to come into our text 1 node. We're going to grab our playhead and make sure it's at 0. We're going to come into the second tab of the text 1 inspector screen, which is layout, and we're going to click on the diamond next to center to set a keyframe. We're now going to drag our text to its starting position so it's off the screen. Now we're going to come forward 30 frames, which for me is a second, grab our center X and bring it back so that our writing is fully visible again. So basically you have that. We will animate the end in a minute when we'll make the text go off again. So next we're going to come and concentrate on our list. So that's in text 2. Again, you're going to need a mask. So we're going to grab a rectangle, pipe the rectangle into the mask of text 2, and again we're going to bring the mask down so that just one of the words is visible. Again, I'm going to come into the inspector and just add a bit of softness to the edge of the mask. And position it. So now we need to animate our list. So come into text 2, come into the second tab, the layout tab, and we are going to set a keyframe on frame 30, and we're going to drag so that our words disappear. Come forward to frame 60 and drag our text back, and this will automatically set another keyframe for us. So our first words appeared, we're going to leave it there for a second, so come to frame 90 and set another keyframe. Now use your arrow keys and come forward 3 frames, grab your Y and move up so that your next word is visible. This again will automatically set a keyframe. Forward to frame 120, set a keyframe, forward 3 frames, move up. Again, that sets a keyframe. Forward to frame 150, set a keyframe. Forward 3 frames and move up to our last word. Now we're going to make everything disappear, so still with text 2, come forward to frame 180, set a keyframe. Now this time we're going to come to frame 210 and we're going to move our text back off to the left so that it disappears. Now while we're still on frame 210, we're going to come into text 1. Again, set a keyframe on center and then come forward to the end of your clip and we'll pull our writing off. So now if we play our animation through, we have the full effect. Now it looks okay how it is, but we can make a couple of tweaks to improve it. The first of those is to use the spline editor. So if we click on the spline editor, this brings up all our keyframes. So if we select both texts and then come to this little button here and select zoom to fit, these are all the keyframes. All we need to do is drag, select them all and press the F key just to sort of give some easing and to sort of flatten the curves out. So we can close the spline editor last thing I'm going to do is, if you click on the text node, come to the last tab, and down you've got motion blur. I'm going to check the motion blur and just bring it up a little bit, and do the same for text 2. Last tab, motion blur, and bring it up to about 6. This will slow the render process down, but it will improve the look of your animation. So finally we will drag the output of the merge node onto our media out, come back to the edit tab, and now we have our effect, which we need to let to cache so that it plays properly. So as you see, the blue bar is gradually filling up the red one. And once we're cached, off we go. Now, just a matter of personal preference, I didn't like it sort of off to the side. So I came back into Fusion and I just select merge 1, shift space bar, type transform, if you can spell it right, and add a transform node. Now if we put this transform node into a viewer, what this allows us to do is just drag and position our text. So you can keep it in the middle of the screen, you can drop it down, put it wherever you want, but I was quite happy with it in the middle of the screen. And that is, as they say, that. Again, need to let it cache. And off you go. Hope you found this interesting, entertaining and or useful. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you so desire, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.